So in today's class we discussed about texturing, but we discussed today about let's create a model, and we are planning to export the model into Photoshop, repaint, and bring them back. So that's why we have discussed a lot about UV editor in the previous classes. Of course, let's create a cube. Great, and scale it up. That would work. Okay, so here is the cube here. So let's be a container, and let's go to UV editor. So we have a UV editor here, or if you're comfortable with that, you can right click here and you can choose perspective and UV. If it is not available, just don't worry, go to the panel here. There you can find many panels, maybe saved layout and perspective UV editor. Yeah, that would work. Now you can see the view is split into two things. Oh, I'm sorry, I should view panel and view. Yeah, look at that. That would do. So this is perfect. So here now, look at the shape here, and I would like to check the width and height of this model. So look at that. Okay, so what I would possibly do is let's go to the polycube. Okay. Looking at the scale axis is 6.776, y is 6.776, and while z is too much, so it seems x and y are of the same value. So I can select this one. What I can do is I can so in the UV window I turn on the grid. Okay, now this is perfect. Now let me select this view and shift this view. Okay, so these both views are facing. Look at that. These both views are facing x-axis. So let me turn this off. Now both the views are facing x-axis. So where's that? That will do. This outliner I can write, I can do off. I can close it off. Yeah, that would do. Okay. So now I started both these views. This is x-axis, you could see here also, and also the here. Shift right click and mapping and planar map x-axis. It's done there. Maybe I should make them a proper square. It's proper now. Look in the position, width and height. The width is 15 and the height is also 15. So in that way the square will be a perfect one. So 15 by 15. Great. So let me put this away. Good. Let me select this face and this. And shift right click, mapping, and planar map y-axis, because they are both the faces are facing y-axis. Look at that, y-axis. So shift right click, mapping, planar map y-axis. So sorry, yeah, mapping, planar map y-axis. Now you can see that I'll change the projection width into 16 and height also into 16. So that way they both look alike. So Yeah. Now let me drag this here, 16 by 16. So why not I click this and rotate it off? Right. I can rotate them and position them here in the same spot. I press R here and I scale it up a little so it will match with that UV, already existing UV, it would match. Now look at that. Yep. Now there is another one here. Now I select both these UVs. I shift right click, mapping, and these are facing x-axis. No, sorry, z-axis. So planar map is that axis, and look at that. Let it be 16 again. Great. And pull it here. And you can see that this is the front view. Front view and the back view will not be having the same. The one view will be having a similar texture around all the corners. The other view will be having, if you take a container ship, the other view will be having a lock. So here there are two viewports. And how to select? How can I move the one UV of this side away from this? There are two views or two UVs stacked over each other. So right click, I go to UV mode, select one UV. Now control right click, go to UV shell. Now that shell of that UV selected, press W and move it away. Now you can see there are this different one. Now select this face, yeah, this is different. And select this face, it is different. And remember one thing, when you right click an object, you can select vertex, edge, face, and you can move them. But when you go to UV mode, you can select a UV, but you can't move it, you can't rotate it. If you want to move a UV or rotate a UV, you should come to UV editor. Only there you can rotate a UV or you can move a UV. So always keep that in mind. Now look at here, these are not properly aligned. Right click, go to UVs. Wait, let me hit spacebar for maximizing this view. And control right click to show. Yeah. So look at that. Yeah, that's probably done. Perfect. Now I would like to scale them all. So now I select all these UVs. Then in the UV toolkit, you have a come down. There will be a move, scale. Okay, I think we can go to alignment. Create, cut and fold. Yeah, we have align here. Look at that, I select these UVs. You could see clearly they are not properly aligned to each other. I selected them and I could able to click this. Yeah, now they're aligned together. Similarly, select here. I press this, they are aligned. Now I select this. Now I have to align them in horizontally. Great. Now I can here. Great. So they are now aligned. Now all these four UVs are aligned properly. Now if you look here, they're properly aligned. So press, click this icon. Wait. Now they use for same size and it's properly there. And once it is done, I just select them and I would like to press Ctrl L. If you remember what is Ctrl L, then you would know what it is for. So Ctrl L is for layout. If you go to modify menu, you can see Ctrl L is layout. So instead of it move by itself, I'll just move it to here. Let me scale it. Okay, and let me just move them. Hope it's done now. And select this faces, go to UV. We have a sorry, go to UV window, go to UV editor. Yeah. So here we are, UV editor. Sorry. Yeah. Okay, here we are, UV editor, and from here, this is your modify again, and then you can fix your layout also. You can fix your layout like how you want this to be. So go to your option box, like if you want to translate shells, you can translate or disable them, and wherever you want to save this, you can save this file. Okay, don't want to make any changes. Edit reset settings and close. I'm not applying it. Okay, so after this, after we have done this UV editing object, the next thing is I have to export this layout. So let's go to image. Before that, I select my faces, go to image and UV snapshot. I repeat again, right click, select your face, select the faces, go to image, UV snapshot, and here you can set how much size you want the image to be saved. Look at that. If you map your project properly, it will take you automatically to F China 2020 modeling class images out UV. So out UV is the image where it's going to save, and I don't want Maya IFF, I prefer PNG 2048, and the edge color is white. So yeah, that would do. Then it's 2048 by 2048, which is 2K. So just apply and close, and it's done. Now go to our project modeling class, then images. There we have this image. Yeah, there we have out UV. So this is our out UV image. I hope you could see that. It's a little smaller here anyway. Let me open this image in my Photoshop so we can see it here there. So when you open the image, you could see there you could see anything. So let me create Control Shift N, create new layer, Alt backspace, Control open bracket. Now you could see it is beneath and it is at the top. You could see the line there. Yeah, you could see the line. If you feel the line is much if you feel that the line is not proper, we can even combine them, or we can duplicate this. Maybe Control J. Now you could see the lines proper. I could merge them. Control right click, I could merge these layers into a single one. Yeah. Now you could probably see that. So this is just the lines, and you should delete them after. And this is also background, and we have to delete this also. So that way I could easily remember what to have, what not to have. So then I just log this layer, then this one, let it be. I log this layer too, and I have to save this file also, so I can access it later. So let me go to file. I can save this file. The modeling class images out UV PSD file. I save it here so I can access it later. So you could see now there are lines. Okay, so let's start working on this. Let me bring in the image I already have for my Photoshop. I just put it there in the second tab. So in the second tab I'll be having a new image that I downloaded it from Adobe Stock, so you could see the texture there. Wait. Then let me double click. I open it. I hope you guys know Photoshop, so I think you don't need introduction on this. Anyway, I press W, then Shift W. I select all this white color and delete them. Control D. Okay, now everything is deleted. Control D. Now the rest of the area are transparent. Now I can use my tool. Wait. I press V. I just select, drag, and drop it here. you guys could notice that this is the background image is much bigger, so we have to scale it up to fit. But normally I would not recommend you guys to do that. You should have a proper high quality reference images for your models always. That would be advisable. So yeah, it's done. Delay. Yeah, now you can see it's done there. But anyway, I should just have to go a little more inside this spot. Yeah, and Control D again, Control D. Maybe it should go like this. Control T again. I should scale them up a little. Done. And look at that. This space should not be there. We should not leave that space. And what is this one? Press E and erase this. Maybe I should undo. I should right click and choose a round brush. And yeah, good. Now go here, Control D again, then here I press M, I select this one, press V, I click and drop it here, and I scale them up. Sorry, scale them up, and I put them here. So we should not leave the space, so let's fix this space too. See, the space should not be there, so we should be much cautious when we apply our texture without the spaces. So similarly, go there, I Control D, M again, I select this one, V, I click and drag, I drop it here, Control T, just scale them up and bring them here. Maybe I should scale them down a little. It's done now. See, this is the auto texture. Let it be, because this is not original one created by me. This is downloaded one, so let it be. Okay, right. So now I disable this, and this line also I don't want. That's why I marked it as delete. I don't want to delete them. I just close it like this and let this be transparent. And I'm going to save this image as file, save as PNG format. So this will be out UV. Apply texture. I'm saving it as a PNG file. Great. Now it's saving here. Let's give some time. Now saving is done. Now go to Maya. So yep. Now panel and UV editor. So 4, 5, 6, and here we are using blend material, I believe. We are using material attributes. We are using a lambda. Okay. Assign new material. Let me go with a blend. Great. Now click the color and file. Click. And since we have already applied, since the UV is already applied, UV PNG file, I just open it. Look at that. Yeah, there's one problem here. You noticed why it is like this, because press 5 and 6, you couldn't see the model. Why? 6 is supposed to be the texture, but why the texture is not visible? Why it's transparent entirely? Because now right click again, go to material attributes. Now you can see it's not only mapped with the color, it's also mapped with the transparency. So we need only for color, not for transparency. Right click and break the connection. Remember, right click on the transparency and choose break connection. So now it has to be a proper texture. Why? It's still there. What is missing? It seems something is missing there. I think we save the file properly. Maybe I choose, yeah, I should apply texture. This is the texture. Previously I chose this. That's a bad one. This is the one. Yep, it's done now. Now look at that. Now you could see there's a UV mapped. There's a UV mapped one. And look at that, the image and everything is perfect. So this is how you should apply your UV mapping. And by any point, if you feel like something is wrong, or if any point is not perfect, something like this, you can always look at that. If you don't want this number, you can go back and you can do that. Or I can go to my Photoshop and I can just take my brush and let me take a color of an yellow or something like that, and right click and let me choose a brush like this, and I can write it as maybe a little more bigger. It's like you can write whatever you want, maybe like a Spider-Man. So it's like a Spider-Man. So after you've done that, all you have to do is just file save as into a PNG file, which we already saved. Apply. Yes. Okay. Now the image is saved. It is saving. Okay, it is done. Now go to Maya. Maybe I press 4, 5, 6. Since its texture seems, yeah, it's updated now. Look at that. Why it's like that? Because all the 4 UVs are sharing the same space. If you select and go to your UV window, you can see there all the 4 spaces are sharing the same thing. Maybe go to panels, panel and UV editor, you can see there. It's loading. Man, I don't know why it's loading still. Panels, panel and UV editor. Oh, I didn't see this missing there. I don't know what is that. Why my UV window is gone? Okay. Now select the model. Now see that. Yeah, you can select this image to see the texture. Now you can see that all the 4 left, right, top and bottom all are sharing the same UV. That's why we get the shape here like this. Look at that spider. Top and down is fine, whereas the bottom and thing is a different one. And if you want that also to be proper, maybe you can swap them. So look at this. Now all the 4 UVs are in the same side. Maybe here you can change them in the direction. So maybe let me select this one. This face I select, and there's a flip along the U direction. Yep, it's flipped. Now let me select this one and flip along the U. Yep, it's done. Now it's perfect. So this is just one texture. So similarly, meanwhile we can create another. We can create new textures, and we can create whatever we need. Maybe you can put some hole or whatever design you want to do. You can do them here. Maybe if you want some crack or you want to apply something, you can paint them here. So. These are brushes. You know, we have different kinds of brushes. You can get from here. Maybe you can you can go to some other dot brushes or assorted brushes, special effects. There are many such brushes, like thick, heavy. You can take any brushes and you can brush that box finish, and I would like to append them. Maybe you can see there are many brushes here. You can take any brush, you can paint on that. So whatever you paint, that will be reflected on there. So with that, you can paint on, and paint it with whatever you wish. Maybe this time it should red color or whatsoever. So I can just you can make some drawings, and whatever you do will be visible there. So yep. So if you're good with Photoshop, you know how to do this thing of color settings and things. And the good thing with this is maybe you can instead of the spider, I can put some text here. Okay, I can take some text. I just type it as Chinese goods. So yep, Control Shift and greater than symbol. I select my text and I press Control Shift and greater than. You could see the font size is getting increased. It's taking too much time, man. 70, 72, 100. So Chinese goods. So maybe I can select them into white in color. Maybe I can change this into of some other font. Instead of Corel Pro, I can change them all into something like this. Yeah, this would work. Chinese goods. So 150. That is the Chinese goods. And look at that. When you double click here on the text layer, you could access some layer style. You can change the layer style there, like if you want to bevel and emboss, you could do that. You could see the bevel and emboss there. Okay, you could use some bevel and emboss, and the size and how much emboss effect you want, everything could be there. And the outer bevel or inner bevel or emboss, you could choose it. You could choose it wisely, like how you wish. You could choose that. Look at that. So that would work. Soften. Yeah, direction is upside or down, you could choose. And also you can change the shading angle however you wish. Yeah, you could change them also. So shadow mode is multiply or whatever. So there's also one such way. And if you want to apply some texture, you can apply. So if you want to apply any texture, you can apply that. So anything would do. But anyway, I don't want the texture. And if you want some stroke, you can add some stroke here. Then inner shadow. Then look at that. You have a shadow here. So you can click and drag where you want the shadow to apply. So there's one cool feature. Anyway, I don't want shadow. Then inner glow and color overlay, gradient, outer glow. Then drop shadows. This is drop shadow. So drop shadow would also help you for drop the shadow. Like this. Yeah. Then outer glow. If you want any outer glow, you can click that. So if you want some black or some other outer glows, look like that. Opacity can be normal. Okay. Now once it's done, you can just save this. Similarly, I put this one, I copy this one and put it here. So to India. So maybe let me select this font and great, that would do. So now go to file, save as PNG file and apply texture. Yes, it's a PNG file. Great. Now go to Maya and wait for the changes. Maybe 4, 5, and 6. I think it's still saving. Oh, Now it's done. Now go there. 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So Chinese goods. So the Chinese goods, and they're applied here to India. So you can create such kind of textures easily with the help of UV. So once you've done your UV, then it will be much easier for you to take it to Maya or Photoshop or Mari or any other software. That is why you should properly disintegrate a 3D model into UV space. So it's a process of converting a 3D model into a 2D space or a 2D image, so that you could apply any image or texture, or you could paint by using Substance Painter or Mari and apply the same to the 3D software. Hope you guys understood how this UV workflow works, and do not think it is less of it, because working in UV editor only will make you a professional 3D modeler. So if you know texturing proper, then you would know how a model has to be. So decide first where you want this model to work on. If you're working for a game industry, then you should use low poly like this. If you're working on a movie industry, then you should increase more polygon and make it much perfect. So thank you. Let's discuss further things in the next class. Thank you.